How do each of you assess the recent immigration enforcement operations across the country? Governor Meyer.
Listen, as far as Delawareans are concerned, ICE has lost credibility. It's hard for ICE to operate anywhere in our state without it creating some crisis and, in fact, making Delawareans less safe simply by wearing that uniform now because of things that have happened in Minnesota and other areas across the country. It's creating a lack of safety. Officers with uniforms were sent into places where they did not respect due process or basic human rights. They did not seem to have training in anti-bias and in 21st century policing, things that every police officer in Delaware gets and most police officers around the country get. So it's very hard for ICE to have any credibility. Having said that, I think there's common ground. I think if Governor Armstrong and I sit down and talk about immigration, which we have not done, I think there's a lot of common ground about having a secure border, about having a sane and efficient immigration process. I think I heard you talk, Governor Armstrong, about making sure that immigration policies move quickly, that visas that the workforce needs take 18 months, 24 months, 36 months. With today's technology, they should take days or even hours. I think there's a lot of common ground there.
Yeah, USA Today wrote this week, immigration enforcement takes center stage at state level. While Republican-led states are following the White House's lead on immigration enforcement, Democratic-led ones are aiming to rein in the feds. Would you agree with that, Governor Armstrong?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked with them in North Dakota, and our local law enforcement cooperates, and we don't have any of those issues. You might not like the tactics, but federal immigration enforcement is a federal issue. 10 of my first 20 cases as a public defender in federal court were illegal reentry cases. So there are a lot of things I think the feds overstep on in a lot of ways as governor, but one of the ways they don't is enforcement of immigration. I mean, that is a federal issue. Now, I think, and when you're talking about immigration policy, I was on the immigration subcommittee my first 2 years here. We haven't passed any immigration laws since 1986, but it's slower to get an H-2A visa now than it was 10 years ago. It's slower to get an H-1B. Those are things I think everybody could agree on, and you don't have to change a single thing of law, and you don't have to change a single thing of policy because it hasn't changed yet, but it gets significantly slower.
Well, explain for the two of you, for your states, how important those visas are. We're talking about legal immigration there.
Farm labor, H-2A, even when I was in Congress, it was either veterans benefits or immigration cases that were our number one constituent services, right? We just need the work. Rural hospitals for lab techs and nurses. And I think that's what's really frustrating from our standpoint is we haven't changed the law at all, but it's gotten slower and more cumbersome. And that shouldn't happen with increase in technology.
Yeah, when the visas don't come through on time, that increases employers' costs, which ultimately increases the cost to the customer. I know that Governor Armstrong and I are both working hard in our respective states to keep costs down, make sure life is affordable. And when employers cannot get the workforce that they need, workforce that they know is readily available, ready to work, when government stands in the way, it's worse for all of us.
What are the